What is up, my Pika crew? This is ThePikaWu, and welcome to another black and white Wi-Fi battle. This one's going to be another VGC match, and this is going to be another random matchup. So before I go into this battle, I do have an update. So I will be attending NYU in about a week. So first off, if anyone attends NYU, please be sure to send me a message, and it would be really cool to meet up and maybe start a Pokemon related community there at NYU. Another thing is it'll take some time to figure out how to do Wi-Fi battles at NYU, so I won't be able to get matches done during that period, but I do have a decent amount of battles saved up, so I can continue the weekly videos or bi-weekly depending on how busy my schedule is at college. And my last update is, I guess, for X and Y. X and Y is coming out soon on October 12th, and it'll take some time to figure out how to do Wi-Fi matches for X and Y. So in the meantime, I will be starting up a X and Y walkthrough and also continuing my Black and White 2 material until I figure out how to do the Wi-Fi stuff for X and Y. And when I do figure out how to do Wi-Fi matches for X and Y, I'll just gradually phase out the Black and White 2 material. So yeah, stay tuned for the upcoming X and Y content. So I'm going to lead off with Gyarados and Heatran, while my opponent's going to lead off with Volcarona and Cresselia. Now I lead off with Heatran because it threatens out his potential leads like Metagross and Amoonguss. Plus, the only two Pokemon that threaten out my Heatran are Gastrodon and Scrafty, which are both checked by Gyarados because Scrafty is checked by Intimidate and Gastrodon is checked by my HP Grass. Now I do have the matchup advantage here since Volcarona can't really touch my lead so long as he doesn't have the really rare HP Electric or Ground, and Cresselia can't really do much either because it's usually defensive and not offensive. So I'm pretty much free to set up a substitute with my Heatran, and I can predict my opponent's switch out with Hidden Power Grass. So this really ends up in my favor because Gastrodon comes in on the HP Grass, and this really risky prediction definitely pays off, but unfortunately for me, my opponent actually has the Rindo Berry, so my HP Grass isn't doing too much damage. However, I'm pretty sure I can take down this Gastrodon with a second HP Grass, so I'm just going to go continuously target the Gastrodon, which ends up being a misplay because he's going to go for the Protect, and it was a really obvious Protect, so I should have just dealt damage against the Cresselia instead with the Gyarados. However, it's not too big of a deal because I should be able to take down this Gastrodon next turn, and I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Flamethrower at my Heatran just to deal extra damage in case my Hidden Power Grass doesn't take him out. And yeah, he's just going to go for the Side Shock with the Cresselia, and he's going to take down my Gyarados to a pretty low amount of health, but I don't really need Gyarados as long as this Gastrodon is taken out because my Heatran should be able to handle the majority of his team once Gastrodon is down. But for some reason, I am not able to take him out, and that was really dumb going for the Flamethrower instead of the Earth Power because now he's going to live and he's going to be able to pull off an Earth Power and actually break my substitute. And had I went for the Earth Power instead of the Flamethrower, this Gastrodon would have been dead, and I would still have a substitute with Heatran. I would be very ahead in this match, but unfortunately, I made a couple of misplays in the beginning, and that's really going to cost me later on. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Flamethrower against the Gastrodon just to finish him off, and then I'm going to switch into my Scrafty, anticipating him to just go for the Side Shock, and yeah, he is going to actually go for the Icy Wind, which was, again, a very great play because he's actually going to bring my Heatran down. He's going to bring my Heatran speed down, so that means if he brings in the Metagross here, it will definitely outspeed my Heatran and it will definitely take me out with an Earthquake. Now here, I'm actually going to switch out with my Heatran, fearing the Fighting type move. Despite having the Chople Berry, I still want to save that for later. So I'm going to decide to switch out my Heatran and bring in my Cresselia to resist the hit. And then I'm going to go ahead and go for the Crunch just to deal damage against the Cresselia. Now, here was another misplay, I guess, because I totally forgot that I could still use Fake Out since I haven't used it yet. So I should have just went for the fake out against the Metagross and then set up another substitute with the Heatran, and that would have put me ahead once more with a sub up. But unfortunately for me, I don't do that, and I actually get the Flame Body hacks, and my Scrafty's gonna get burned. So not only am I not making the most optimal plays as I should have, I don't know, I really wasn't thinking in this match, I'm also not really getting lucky either because of the burn. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start over to the clean slate. I'm going to decide to fodder off my Gyarados and then use Scrafty as much as possible before it dies. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go for the Crunch against his Volcarona just to deal some damage. Was not anticipating the substitute, so that was very, very scary because I cannot break his substitute with my Crunch, and he has a sub up with the Volcarona, so this is not good. Basically the momentum has completely turned to his favor, and yeah, this is very troublesome for me. And now my Scrafty is gonna get taken out, and I'm pretty much forced to bring in my Heatran because I cannot bring in the Cresselia since he has his Volcarona out, so I really don't know what to do at this point. So the big dilemma is whether to target the Cresselia or the Volcarona. Now, Volcarona has a sub up, but it really can't touch my Heatran, and Cresselia really can't touch my Heatran either, but with a couple of side shocks, it could be able to bring down my Heatran to a comfortable amount of health. So after failing to hit the Volcarona due to the protects, I finally realized that this Cresselia needs to get taken down, and that's why I end up going for the Water Gem boosted Hydro Pump with Gyarados. And looking at the damage, however, it seems like the Cresselia is more of a bulkier set, so it will take a couple of hits to take her down. I do switch into my Cresselia basically just to conserve the Gyarados because it is important for me to have 3 Pokemon instead of 2 Pokemon alive. The main reason why is because once you lose 2 Pokemon, you're basically forced to bring in your last 2 Pokemon and you cannot switch anymore. So you lose that flexibility of switching. So that's why I bring in my Cresselia to conserve my Gyarados, because if I lose my Gyarados there, I lose my switching ability. And then my Cresselia is basically gonna get taken down by the Volcarona. But it is inevitable that I will lose 1 Pokemon soon. But by switching, I can prolong my survivability. And this enables me to, I guess, get off a couple more hits with my Heatran and get a couple more flamethrowers off against my opponent's Cresselia before I lose 1 Pokemon. But now, here, it's inevitable that I am gonna lose 1 Pokemon. So it is time to finally sack my Gyarados. I can no longer prolong one of my Pokemon's death, so I do decide Gyarados, it's time for him to get taken out. So Gyarados finally gonna get taken down by a Bug Buzz, and luckily for me, I do decide to sack my Gyarados and not my Cresselia because he actually has the Bug Gem on his Bug Buzz. So now, because he doesn't have the Bug Gem, I should be able to live at least 1 hit with my Cresselia when he goes for the Bug Buzz, because I am pretty bulky, I am a Cresselia. Now, my Heatran finally is gonna go for a substitute, and this puts me at a very optimal situation, because having a sub up means that I should be able to deal with his Metagross, since the Metagross would have to break my substitute first before taking me out. Plus, I know my opponent's Cresselia is gonna get taken down by my next Flamethrower, so I will definitely have my sub up against his Metagross, and since he is going to lose 2 Pokemon, he has no switching capabilities as well anymore either. So this is it. It's going to be 2v2. It is going to be my Cresselia and my Heatran versus his Volcarona and his Metagross. And my Heatran does have a sub up and his Volcarona does have a sub up, so basically we are evenly matched. But I do have the advantage because I have a Heatran and I run Flamethrower instead of Heat Wave for this specific reason, to be able to 1-hit KO Metagrosses. Moves that hit 2 Pokemon are powered down, so Flamethrower ends up being stronger than Heat Wave, and having that extra base power enables me to actually deal more damage with against Metagross, and makes me able to generally take down Metagrosses in 1 hit. So once I take down Metagross, this game is basically mine because Volcarona cannot take down my Heatran. So here it goes. First, I go for the Psyshock to break Volcarona substitute, and then I'm going to go ahead and go for the Flamethrower to take down the Metagross. And let's see, his HP goes down, and down, and down, and down, and he is going to live with red health. And this is very, very unfortunate because with minimum damage, his Metagross is alive. And that means it's not guaranteed my win just yet. And what I should have done was go for the Psyshock against the Metagross, because with the Psychic Gem, it would have definitely been enough to clinch the win for me. But because that did not happen, now I have to rely on the Chople Berry to save my Heatran. Unfortunately for me, this Metagross is too powerful and it is gonna take me out with the Hammer Arm despite the powered down move from the Chople Berry. So I am not gonna be able to live, and that is gonna be the match because without Heatran I cannot win. I did have a chance of living, but it was very slim, so yeah, it was a very close match. If I lived, I would have been able to win, but yeah, it ended up being basically down to the wire. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, a favorite, and a comment, and thank you for watching my battle. Stay tuned for the comment question of the day. If you guys haven't subscribed already, feel free to join the Pika crew by subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.